we'll bring you more updates at the top of the hour, as well as more interviews in that regard. Let's talk about party politics now. The Southeast Zonal Executive Committee of the All Progressives Congress on Tuesday ratified the suspension of Ginika Tor by the Enugu State chapter of the APC. Mrs. Tor is the Federal Commissioner representing Enugu at the Federal Character Commission. The Federal Character Commissioner was earlier suspended by the Enugu State chapter of the APC over alleged gross misconduct, anti-party activities, and attempt to create a parallel executive of the party in the state. The State Executive Committee had received 2 petitions against Mrs. Tor, which were referred to the State Disciplinary Committee of the party, headed by one barrister Vincent Chine. The Disciplinary Committee, after investigation of the allegations against the Federal Commissioner, submitted a report to the State Executive Committee with a recommendation for a suspension, among other things. And subsequently, the Southeast Zonal Executive of the party met at the Zonal Secretariat in Enugu, where it duly considered that report of the Enugu State chapter suspending Mrs. Tor. And in a statement endorsed by National Vice Chairman APC Southeast Zone, Ijoma Arodiobu, the Zonal Executive Committee ratified that suspension, and that story is what we're covering tonight. I'm joined by the Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State, Ginika Tor, joins me live from our Abuja studio. We're also expecting the Southeast Zonal Organizing Secretary of the APC, Dozie Ikedife, who I can also see online. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Let's begin with Princess in our Abuja studio. There's a long list of allegations, excuse me, against you by the Enugu State chapter of your party, and the list includes gross misconduct, anti-party activities, and an attempt to create a parallel executive of the party. And I was going to say, how do you plead? On a light note, but this is not a court. How do you react to these allegations?
Well, thank you, Nifemi. My name is Ginika Tor, and record has it that I've always been here defending our party right from the time of campaign to date. Record also has it that I remain one woman who stepped out when no Igbo could come out to speak in favor of this administration. Record also has it that I've remained steadfast in this cause for this present administration. So, do I need to start proving who I am? Can I ever do anti-party? When I also was in Sokoto to work for APC, I was in Lagos to work I was all over Nigeria, I was everywhere, 36 states plus FCT. So that has got a lot to do with you to understand that it is time for our party to begin to look at those who actually have this party at heart. Those who had written me or who had given me suspension, as they put it, do not have that right. As far as I'm concerned, it's null and void. The reason being that I've never received any letter of suspension from my ward. I have never received any letter of suspension from this same Southeast Vice Chairman or the party. I have never. So I only saw it on the news that they suspended a woman who the whole world can attest to the fact that she remained resolute in the fight for APC. And that is God working, because it shows that every other thing they have said is not
We're going
true.
to talk about the legality of the suspension in a minute, but they have said what they are alleging really, and I'm going to bring up the organizing secretary shortly, but they said you created a factional and parallel state executive committee in Enugu State, which is contrary to the constitution of the APC.
Okay, so on that note, first of all, I did not create any fractional APC fraction. What I have is what they call Rescue APC Enugu State. For as far as I'm concerned, Enugu State APC is moribund. It's as good as dead. What have we achieved in Enugu State? For the 4,000 plus votes that you got, those are votes from me and my team, and those whom they sent away, that they called our leaders, that they sent away from the party. Ugochukwu Abala, being the APC chairman, was imposed on us. He was never our member. He didn't build the party with us. He was sent from nowhere, and he destroyed the party. He said he will deliver the state, yet he does not have even a councillor. So we need to get our party back And that is why we need to have a force to ask for our party to come back. So it's not a faction, it's a movement. And I'm saying it and again. I have a movement structure that's going to take back our party in Enugu State. Because this one I'm seeing is tales by moonlight. It's not working. He came into the party and destroyed the party. He chased away all the leaders who set up this system of APC in Enugu State. And I'm one of them. Imagine them coming to say I did anti-party. Ginika. Okay, fine. I have my proof where I contested, where I voted, where I supported the president in all the 36 states plus FCT. I have it. Please, can they bring their own? When Naji, the present minister from Enugu State, when he was contesting for governor, he never mentioned Asiwaju in any of his campaign. None of his posters has Asiwaju. But me, when people were afraid to step out in the southeast, I was the one woman who came out. Record has it. Do I need to start explaining myself further? So it's all malicious, ill-intended, and to me, it's null and void. Because there was no disciplinary committee set up that I was called to attend to. None. So they denied me my right to fundamental fair hearing. My fundamental right to fair hearing. It's unacceptable.
Allow me to bring in the Southeast Zonal Organizing Secretary of your party.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
The Zonal party, the Zonal, the APC at the zonal level in Enugu, we understand, has ratified this suspension. What are the facts before you?
Well, thank you so much for having me. The facts remain that Ginika Tor was a strong party member, but the party really does not tolerate discipline. We as party members and APC as a party, we have laid down procedure for party members to go and lay their grievances. But because of the anti-party activities against Ginika Tor, the party in Enugu State set up a committee, and the committee came up with their report. The report was given to the state working committee of the party in Enugu State, and the state working committee of the party in Enugu State ratified the suspension of Ginika Tor. And that suspension was brought to the Southeast Zonal Executive of APC when we held our meeting on Tuesday, and that suspension was also ratified. One of the things that is said that Ginika Tor did is having parallel executive in Enugu State. That is not acceptable to our great party. It is a behavior that we frown against. You cannot set up a parallel structure at the state level, at the local government level, at the national level. It's not acceptable. What I know and what we know is that the executive of Enugu State, we are properly constituted through laid down procedure. And the state chairman, Ogabala, is currently the state chairman of APC, Enugu State, Barrister Ugochukwu. And I know that maybe in the next year and a half, the tenure of Ugochukwu Agbala and his executive will be coming to an end. And APC in Enugu State will have another round of congresses where new executive will be elected. Right. And anybody who doesn't like what Ugochukwu Agbala and his executive are doing, they can present themselves to be elected.
Mr. Kedife. Mr. Kedife.
I just want to say this, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can I just say this, sir?
All right, please.
The things that Ginika Tor is saying, these are unfounded. I, as a zonal organizing secretary, I was in Enugu State during the campaigns. And we went with Uche Naji, who is the serving minister right now. We went around the local governments in Enugu State. Uche Naji campaigned vigorously for himself and for the president. I also campaigned vigorously for myself and the president. Me, in line with our national vice chairman, Southeast, Dr. Ijoma Arodiobu, and the other members of the zonal executive. So it's okay for people to disagree, but it's not okay for people to come on national TV and tell lies on party leaders. So I just disagree with Ginika Tor right there.
So you're saying that the APC in Enugu is not moribund and as good as dead, as claimed by Honorable Ginika Tor. She did mention that a structure, she created that structure to revive the party in Enugu. I'd like you to answer this vis-a-vis the number of votes the party was able to secure during that election.
Well, thank you very much for that. Honestly speaking, the number of votes that we secured in the different states of the Southeast, it was not incommensurate with the efforts that we made in the states. Like in my state, Anambra State, where we also campaigned vigorously. We scored maybe about 6,000 votes. That is not to say that we did not make efforts. We made a lot of efforts in my state. In Enugu State, you had a place where the Labour Party, with the leadership of Peter Obi and Peter Obi being on the ballot, was like a tsunami. So it didn't matter what you said and how much you worked hard. The election results did not reflect the hard work of Ugabala or the hard work of Uchennaji or the hard work of the other party leaders or the hard work of Chief Enugu, who is the Deputy National Chairman, South. These are people that worked very hard to get the votes that we got in the Southeast. So Ginika Tor coming to say that she could not have gotten 10 votes from her polling unit. Let her come and bring the results of her polling unit. And I don't want to come here and make allegations and all that. We know the antecedents of people like Ginika Tor, who at day will go and say that they're APC, and at night we can negotiate with the former governor of Enugu State. These were some of the bad behavior that Ugabala has been crying against, working against. So we have restored discipline in
I hear you, Mr. Ekedefe.
And Ginika Tor is disgruntled, and
yes.
she can, I would advise her to, if she's disgruntled and she has any evidences of bad behavior by Ugabala, to go and use the lay-down procedure.
Honorable
as
Tor,
stipulated in the party constitution.
I want you to react to that. They say you are an APC member in the morning, but at night you're negotiating with other parties.
Nifemi, you know that one is a lie. The man they are talking about is alive. And he will not tell lies against me. He knows the people that work for him. He knows the people that come in the night. Ginika is never one of them. I was busy running from one state to the other for this administration. I was seen everywhere. Now, I have my proof, how I voted, how I mentioned Asiwaju, how I mentioned Jagaban at my polling units. Please let them show me their own. If they show, it's not about saying it by mouth. We have proof. I have proof. Let them bring their proof. I have said it here once again, that they did not mention him when they were contesting, when Uchennaji was contesting for governor. I have heard that statement. Let him bring his proof. I have mine. And whatever they say about me, he who alleges must prove. Let them prove it. But whatever I say about them, I'm ready to prove it on air. I don't want anything in-house. So let's come back to this station and bring our proofs. And I'll bring mine. I have everything I did. Let them bring theirs. And I want to affirm once again that Enugu State, they have rewarded the wrong person. Uchennaji, Ugabala are the wrong human being that can ever be think of in our state. They have killed our state party, APC. And I maintain that statement. Take it anywhere. And the structure that we're talking about, it's not parallel APC. They are my movement, my team. And we are ready to take over back. Because we work for this party. We built the party. And these modes are calling others modes. It's unacceptable.
I understand the grouse you have against some.
And I want to also say that the man that just spoke now, he is speaking from the side of bias. He's biased. You can watch his statements. A leader do not stand. A leader is supposed to be neutral. But you can listen to him. You see that they are just there plotting against Ginika Tor. I don't use the word because I'm a woman. I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
Because of time, I understand the grounds you have against some members of your party and how you think perhaps they do not shoulder enough responsibility. But what the party is saying is that there's a structure on ground that was duly elected and that is in alignment with the party constitution. That whatever structure you have built might have to wait for another election to be able to take charge of the operations of the party. Don't you think that your structure is actually operating illegally?
Like I said before, Nifemi, I said I did not create any faction. Like the chapter 4 of our constitution gives me right to association. I have a right to form association. Well, let them call it whatever they want. You cannot deny me my right. That's my fundamental right that I'm exercising. I have a right to exercise my fundamental right of freedom of association. I'm at liberty to form association, and I've just formed one in Enugu State. If that is giving them sleepless nights, let them not sleep. But as far as I'm concerned, that's very particular association stands to get back what belongs to us in Enugu State. How can somebody come and call himself a party chairman and you chase away all the leaders that built the party? They may sleep and leave you. I will not, because I know I am genuine in APC. I have worked selflessly for APC. I don't need to start telling what I have done. There was one I did. Where were they when I defended the president, when Obi insulted our president? Where was Uchennaji? Where was Ugabala? The so-called Southeast out of Diogu. Where was he? But I risked my life. I spent over 5 million defending Asiwaju on that particular press conference. You think they gave me money? Or do anybody claim ownership of the Bokwenu Asiwaju Shetima? The answer is no. It belongs to Ginika Tor with my team all over the country and outside the country, just for the president. So if they reward the wrong person, they should just keep quiet and enjoy their stolen mandate and stop disturbing me.
Mr. Ekedife, we can go on and on, but I want us to, take a detour from the way this conversation is going. You agreed earlier that Ginika Tor actually worked for the president before this election. And you also acknowledged the fact that APC did not perform well in the Southeast. This is not good for the party in a region where APC is struggling. What is the way forward as a party stakeholder and leader? Do you think this suspension looks good for the APC? And how can this issue be resolved?
Okay, thank you. Well, I say that I know Ginika to have been a strong member of the party. Working for the campaign of the president is a topic for another day. If Ginika says that she got 4,000 votes for APC in Enugu State, let her bring the result of her polling unit. But that's by the way. What I know, I'm from Anambra State, but I also participated in the campaigns in Enugu State. And I went with Uchennaji and Ugabala to over 15 local governments in Enugu State, where Uchennaji and Ugabala toiled the day and night, canvassing for votes and campaigning for our great party, APC. But that's by the way. The point is this, going forward, we as party leaders, we have to check our ego sometimes. It will not go your way all the time. Uchennaji happens to have been the person who was appointed by the President of the Federal Republic as the Minister for Innovation, Science and Technology. As party leader, we have nothing more, nothing less. If we wish to be appointed next time, then that's fine. But right now, the person who was appointed is Uchennaji. We are supporters of the president.
Well, we're losing your audio, Mr. Ekedife. We might have to get back to you shortly. Let me bring in Honorable Tor into this conversation. Mr. Ekedife seemed to have raised another issue here, and I want to call your attention to a tweet that you published in February, where you did say that I can only be loyal to truth. Oh, not that one. It's actually the second one that says, how can those who were not there for you during campaign see you succeed when you appoint them in your cabinet against those who stake their necks for you? And then you went ahead to tag Mr. President and the Vice President. Are you saying that there are people working for this administration that don't want it to succeed? And are you in any way referring to the appointment made by Mr. President in the Southeast?
Okay, I'm trying to say, when the Uchennaji was appointed in Enugu State, did I react? My group wanted to react. I did not want them to react. I stopped them. But when that particular program went on, and I wrote that, when you look at somebody who had seen a dogged fighter for this administration, for example, now being suspended, is it not the same thing as I'm saying, that when you reward the wrong people, they will fight the administration? It takes those who passionately came out for you to see you succeed. And I maintain that word here. And I'm telling the president and the vice president that I, Ginika Tor, I aver my statement that until those who came out selflessly, risked their life, almost died like me, Yobe, those kind of people are those who will see you succeed. But you see these people who made mad, you see Uchennaji and Ugabala, in their meetings, I have proof where they used to say things like, oh, if I like, I should jump from one state to the other. When it is time, they will buy. Yes, those are the kind of statements they make. And what are you talking about now? What's the result today? Who is Uche Nnaji? Who do you know him? It's very unpopular. Who is Ugabala? Somebody that was imposed on Enugu State. He's so unpopular. Meanwhile, did I not keep quiet? I did. Why did they start sending their WhatsApp terrorists against me? Is an insult taken too far. And I won't keep quiet. Meanwhile, I won't keep quiet anymore. I kept quiet for too long. Over 100 days, I've been keeping quiet. I did not react.
Honorable Tor, we've
Okay,
run out of time.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I'm just going to ask Mr. Ekedife to give us, let me get your final remarks on this matter in 1 minute, if you can.
Well,
my final word.
As a party, we must enforce and maintain party discipline, no matter how highly you feel you are placed. And I call on party members to always check their ego, because it's not good to bring your ego to the table all the time and to be self-serving. We must support the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and support the people that he chose to work with. Ginika Tor, if it's not the president didn't choose it this time, he might choose it next time. And if he ever chooses you, we will support you.
All right.
There's no need coming on TV and maligning the people that the president has chosen to work with.
That's our time, Mr. Ekedife. Thank you so much for talking to us. I've been speaking with Southeast Zonal Organizing Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Dozie Ekedife, and also Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State, Ginika Tor. The conversation continues on Beyond 100 Days. Thank you so much for joining us. That's our show today, everyone. You can watch it all